Hey everybody, today I thought I would just do a quick video here on how I acclimate my fish. If you've never done it before, hopefully this will be helpful to you. There's more than one way of acclimating your fish, but let's start out with what type of bag your fish come in. Could come in just one of these regular poly bags. A lot of people ship with these, nothing wrong with those. Or it can come in one of these breather bags, and you'll usually see a bunch of wording on them. So depending on what kind of bag you get, depends on what you do in the beginning. So a lot of people are accustomed to taking their bag and just with their fish in it, when they first get them, dropping in the water. That way they sit in the water for a while and they can acclimate to your temperature, because sometimes you get them and you'll fill the bags and the bags will be really cold. And that's a good way to quickly get their temperature the same as your tank. You can't do that with these breather bags. These breather bags, if you do that and you leave them in there too long, you'll actually suffocate the fish. These bags are designed for oxygen to go in and CO2 to go out, and when you drop them into the water, what you're actually doing is you're causing the fish to no longer be able to get any oxygen into the bag at all. So don't do that if you get these kinds of bags. Next thing that I like to do is I like to take my fish and I put them in some kind of container. Doesn't matter what you got. I got one of these little display boxes, and I put a couple of my female purple mosaics in there. And you'll see I got this line going from the tank all the way down into the container. Now this is a method I like to use. I bought these preformed tubes, and I got them off of Live Aquaria. And they come with this little valve here, so you can control how quickly the water goes in and out. And what you can do is you can just, after you get the siphon started, just open it up. Oops. Hard to do with one hand here. There we go. And that's about how much I like to do at a time. Just drip, drip, drip. Maybe one every second. Somewhere around there. Another method you could do is you can just put them all in the bucket as well, and you can just grab like a little cup, take some water from your aquarium tank and put it into the container as well. Both are fine. I just like to do this because it's slow. I like to take a lot of time to acclimate my fish. You could have fish that are coming from vastly different parameters from your own water. And the slower you do it, the better the fish will be. So what you do is, like, when this starts to fill up, maybe it gets this high, I'll actually pour some water out. And that's why I have like another bucket hanging around. And I'll just dump some of that water into this bucket. And we never put the water that the fish came with and the water that you're using to add to that back into the aquarium. We just toss that water just goes in the garbage. You don't want to accidentally bring any bacteria or parasite that may be in the water that the fish came in and put them into your aquarium. So what you want to do is you're actually going to take a net and you want to net these fish out individually and put them into your tank when you're ready. And like I said, I take a real long time. I mean, I'm dripping really slowly. So I may take like a couple hours to acclimate my fish. Now you don't have to do that. It's just what I like to do. I just feel like I have better luck the longer that I do the acclimation. Because like I said before, you don't know what kind of water they're coming from. If it's really off from what you have, you could have problems and the fish could die pretty quickly. Another good thing to do is when you first get the fish and you put them in this container, take a drop of dechlorinator Prime or Amquel Plus or whatever it is, and you can quickly use that to neutralize any ammonia that the fish came in the bag, because when they're in the bag they are producing waste and they can foul up the water that they're in pretty quickly. Another reason why you don't want to just take that water and just throw it into your tank. I know some people just like to do the plop and just throw the fish right into the tank. Works for some people. That never really worked out for me. I tried it a couple times and the fish just died on me. So this is what I've come up with over the years of just getting fish and acclimating them. I feel like the slower the better. You don't have to have this specific setup here either. If you just got a piece of tubing, you can run the tubing inside the main tank, and then you can just take the end of the tubing and you can just keep making knots into it. And if you make a few tight knots, you can actually control how quickly or slowly the water will go into your container where you're keeping your new fish that you just got in. Hope that helps some people. A lot of people probably already have their own way of doing it. Nobody's way of doing it is wrong. You just want to do whatever works for you. This happens to work for me. And I just kind of want to let people know about the breather bag thing, because a lot of people don't know about that either. And you can't just throw those into your water to warm up the temperature of the fish in the bag. Also, by slowly acclimating these in here, you're actually taking that water temp from your tank and you're actually slowly changing the water temperature for the fish as well, which I feel like a slower change in temp is also better than just rapidly changing anything. Anytime you rapidly change parameters on a fish tank, and the fish in it are going to suffer a little bit. They may be fine, recover, and you may not notice anything at all, but any kind of dramatic change like that can affect the fish, and you can actually lose fish because of that. Alright guys, thanks again for watching, and I hope this helps some of you out, and we'll do another video soon.